We are live. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to healthierlife.tv. My name's Paul Bursey.
And I'm Warren Connolly.
Sorry, I'll cut you out there, Warren. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm Warren Connolly, as you might be able to see on the screen. If not, if you're listening, then this is Warren Connolly speaking to you.
Fantastic. So how's your week gone? How's your injury?
My injury is healed very nicely, thank you. Very nicely. I looked after it. I treated it well. And then one morning I woke up this week, 2 days ago, and it was like, oof, almost brand new. So, yeah. Thank you for asking.
I think I'm over my my worst injury I've ever had, which was a calf tear, and I think it was the worst one of the three. I can't remember what the grades are, but so I'm ready to start running again now. So that's good. So we're both on the mend.
Yes. And, ironically, mine's also around the foot area as well. So
I know it can be very painful.
The lower extremities, I should say.
Anyway, enough about us. Let's get on with the our subject today, and that is what really causes oxidative stress. Now, you quite rightly pointed out that, and I would have been in the same place about a year ago, and that would be most people don't know what oxidative stress is, and I didn't. To be fair, I didn't. And so the question more is, what is oxidative stress? Now, originally I put the word damage instead of stress, but I think by doing the research, I found out the word stress is used more, so that's the reason we used it. I switched it at the last minute.
Okay.
So, okay, what would you say oxidative stress actually is?
Well, there is damage involved with oxidative stress. So it's basically you have the biological responses to consuming food and breathing in oxygen and all these kind of things, and then your body's not able to, the system within your body's not able to detoxify the reactive processes that are going on in your system at the time. So this basically causes more stress on the body because the body's not able to repair the damage that's been done. Okay, so that's oxidative stress. Really, it's the body's just not able to cope with repairing the damage that's done through exercise, eating, breathing, and so forth. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So oxidative stress is something the body does automatically anyway. But what happens is, what you're talking about is when it gets overloaded. More, and that's when it is really a problem. So one of the technical definitions, and I'll read it out to you, is that oxidative stress is an imbalance of free radicals and antioxidants, okay, in the body, which can lead to cell and tissue damage. Okay, that's what they say. But it is a natural occurrence that happens in the body, and it actually plays a role in the aging process. So that should start worrying people. This is one of the reasons that people probably need to listen, and it's one of the reasons why we probably age faster. And you can help it as an individual, and we'll get to that a little bit later. So very quickly, because obviously we all come from different places. Some people know what oxidative stress is. People are athletes, people in the medical profession, people in health and wellness businesses. But, and again, the same with free radicals. Now, what is a free radical?
You're actually asking me.
Okay. I'm asking you. Sorry, Warren.
That's okay.
I didn't hold the sign up. I'm sorry.
I wasn't sure if it was a rhetorical question or
just give people an idea what they are.
Yeah, so I mean, a free radical, just try to put it as layman as possible, is it's particles in the air that basically they access your body, and this could come from your food, from pollution around you, the air around you, and yeah, basically it's something that is not good for your system, and it's a particle that causes damage to you through oxidation and that.
Yeah. I mean, look, what happens is that I think I'm right in saying the electrons they break apart, and then you have this rogue thing called a free radical floating around, causing damage, causing havoc, and trying to have its own Armageddon. They're highly reactive and unstable, and this only goes on for a very, very short period of time, which I didn't realise. I just thought they floated around and started damaging things for days on end, but it doesn't work like that.
Okay? Oh, you mean their shelf life?
The shelf life is like
yeah,
really quick.
Yeah, but because there's so much out there, it does impact us.
Yeah, and the free radical is actually a byproduct of metabolism, which is basically another word for oxidation. So I think the easiest thing the High said about oxidation was if you leave your metal bike in the rain, your bike will get rusty, and that is oxidation. Yes. And it's no different with the body. Is that if we don't do some of the right things, our body rusts on the inside, and if enough of it rusts, you get cancer. That probably is the basic way of describing it. So, okay. So, what type of things cause the stress and the damage and everything else?
You mean like risk factors and stuff like that?
Yeah. What happens that causes the problems? What are some of the things that could
pollution?
Yeah,
that causes the problem.
Yeah.
Alcohol consumption,
which is a poison.
Which is a poison, of course.
Yeah.
Obesity, which is very often caused through poisons, multiple poisons. Smoking cigarettes and and tobacco in general.
If you live next to a factory, that'll be another one, because if you're breathing in all the toxic fumes and things like that.
Okay, like industrial areas or something like that. Okay, yeah.
So most of these things we can have some control over. Obviously, depending on the economic scale that affects you, then it may be that you think that you can't do anything about it. But my advice would be please find a way to move away from all that. Okay.
If it's possible at all, yeah.
Similar to the toxins that happen with people. Some people are toxic, and you need to get away from them as well. So, but that affects the brain. So, yeah, I mean, what else can it do? I mean, or what else is there? Ultraviolet light is another one. Too much ultraviolet light.
Or radiation.
Oxidative stress. Can also damage your DNA.
True.
So that's another thing we've got to be careful. So we mentioned free radicals. We said they're the horrible, chaotic things that float around and cause damage. And what we're trying to do is avoid that as much as possible. Now, the way we do that really is having the system working well and having the cell membrane and the cells malleable so that they can take in the nutrients and release all the toxins and bad stuff. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, basically helping the blood to fight oxidative stress in the body, So that's what you want to be doing in terms of eating healthy and just aiding your body to do the job that it's designed to do.
Yeah, well, the body is a miracle. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah.
If it's allowed to do its job, and the only thing really stopping it is normally us. We're the ones that stop it.
Well, our bodies are not designed to actually die. Our bodies are designed to live, to continue living. But unfortunately, our bodies do die because of so many different factors, external factors and internal factors. Stuff that we talk, all the BS that we talk to ourselves inside the head also causes undue stress to the body as well. So this is something that is people people understand that there's a shelf life. They have a shelf life, and they want to live. They want to live a life of live a happy life and not worry about cutting out certain things so that they can live an extra 5 to 10 years, that kind of stuff. It's not about that necessarily. Yes, it might be nice to live an extra 5 to 10 years, depending on your current state of health. But it's not about that. It's about how is your body going to be able to survive and cope up until that time. That's what's important to me, and to many people in the industry, in the health and wellness industry, is how is your body actually living and coping up until that time. Either you're going to live in pain and agony and all kinds of conditions, or you can live a clean life and be energized, happier, less stress, and so forth.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we said that obviously that oxidative stress was an imbalance between the free radicals and the antioxidants. So very, very quickly, we should cover antioxidants. Now, antioxidants are different vitamins and stuff that you get from great food and good quality food. And they can help neutralize these free radicals and thereby reducing the risk of damage. So we all like to eat things like blueberries and strawberries and things like that. But there's lots of them, and I don't tend to go through them. But that's where antioxidants come from. Great ones are chocolate as well, proper chocolate.
Dark chocolate, your cocoa chocolate, cocoa-based chocolate.
Yeah. So, can you think of any other ones, just very quickly?
Yeah, there's a couple of superfoods. I'll say in inverted commas because that people identify within a superfoods, although there is no such thing. But kale and goji berries, two others.
Then you've got the acai berry, which is the best berry of the lot. But we don't. I think because it's South America it comes from, it's quite reasonably hard to get hold of for us.
Yeah. In many places, I think in this part of the world, it is. Strawberries is I think you mentioned strawberries, but you mentioned blueberries. I know strawberries is another great one. Look, without being too specific and particular for the average person out there, I'll tell people if you continuously feeding your body with colorful foods, and when it's possible, if they can be raw or fresh, then consume them. It doesn't always have to be that way, but if you add more, the more color you add to your eating, the more chance you're going to have of helping your body to actually thrive rather than just survive.
Yeah. Well, look, science suggests that the oxidative stress contributes to the development of a range of chronic conditions, such as heart disease, diabetes, strokes, cancer. So it's something you need to pay attention to. But you don't pay attention to the actual word. What you do, you pay attention to the solutions. And the solutions are eating healthily. Now, if we could all eat organic food, that'd be one of the ways that we could do it. Now, I know that people that live in all different parts of the world, some people, it's just not accessible to them. It's difficult, even in the UK, because of the way that we've farmed in the past, which ruins everything. But if you go to France, as I say, it's second nature there.
True. Same here in Hungary as well. It's very it is. It's
we lost second nature farming wise. We did. Definitely. So, and that's not knocking the farmers. That's just the way things happened.
It's the industry. It's just the industry. It's an industrial thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a small island with 84 million or 80 odd million people on, and even back in the 50s and 60s, there was a huge high population in the UK, so they had to feed people somehow, right? And unfortunately, most of the modern day, or the not modern day but traditional ways of farming don't yield high levels of crops, high numbers of crops. They yield high quality crops, but not in the numbers. So you can't really blame the farmers for that necessarily.
So the key for everyone is balance, variety, balance, good quality. We can't go into that too much in detail because I think you, as an individual, people on this call would have to go and work that out for themselves. You know, you can only take people so far, and but it's up to them to maintain that balance.
True.
If you ignore it, what will happen is that you most probably, and hopefully not, but most probably you probably die a little bit earlier, but you will if you don't take care of things. And look, I want to feel great all the time, so I don't get it. I don't get it right all the time, without a shadow of a doubt. But I get it right the majority of the time.
Mm-hmm. And that's what you need to be able to do, just the majority of the time. It doesn't be all the time.
Hey, look, well, you've heard me say before, do I cheat? Yeah, bet your bottom dollar I cheat. You know? Oh yeah, big time. And I can go gorging and things like that, but most of the time I don't. You know, but it's up to the individual at the end of the day. But so what are some of the factors? We've said them already. Okay, lifestyle is definitely one of them. What else would you say? Would your diet? Obviously, your diet can affect it.
Well, your diet is a lifestyle thing too, as well. So it's all the processed foods that we're eating, the sugars and these kind of things. You know, those are also lending to it as well. So they're increasing the oxidative stress in our bodies. You know, and many people, just purely based on what we were just talking about now, in terms of accessibility and availability of quality fresh foods, people are not eating. You know, and the old paradigm that, you know, have your four portions or 4 servings a day.
Mm-hmm.
That's blah blah. You know, we should be eating 10 a day.
10 or I think they worked out to 10 or 12, but you know, but that's quality.
You know, even so, I mean, let's say you go to the supermarket and you buy apples and oranges and vegetables and stuff there. There's ways to get rid of the chemicals that are very often piled into that on the skins and things like that. You know, the skin of a broccoli or the skin of an apple. You know, you just soak them in vinegar water for a bit, and it clears a lot of the toxins away from the skin, the surface of the stuff. But obviously, the inside, deep inside that vegetable, that fruit, it's a different story because the soils are depleted. We've spoken about this before in the past with modern day farming methodologies. The soils are depleted of cross pollination or cross nutrient density in the soil. So many of the soils in farming today have only minimal nutrients inside of them. You know.
Yeah, well, we're talking about macro and micronutrients. I mean,
yeah,
you know, the micronutrients are a big part of a healthy diet. Things like selenium, phosphorus,
magnesium.
You know, is it phosphorus? I can't be.
Phosphate.
What I'm saying here, but
phosphates.
Yes, sorry. And yeah, I mean, obviously, there are ways of getting the right things, but I think the key here is doing a little bit of research. You got to do a little bit of research just to make sure you're going in the right direction. And one of the big things I think I would be concerned about is sugar.
Oh yes.
You know, and
we cut our sugar this whole month in the family.
I haven't got any sugar in the house.
No, but I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's not the only way you can get sugar, though.
Of course, yeah.
So carbs will give you sugar, whereas fiber, which is also carbohydrates, but fiber won't. So that's another thing to think about. You know, it's not just about carbs; it's the fiber.
Yeah, the fiber is important because the fiber actually slows down the absorption of the sugar into the system.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't get spikes and things like this. But when I'm talking about what we're talking about sugars, yes, in the fruits and things like that, that will impact your body, but also the other health benefits of that vegetable, the fruit, far outweigh the oxidation process in your body through those sugars and that. but it's the processed sugars that are the worst thing. You know?
Yeah.
These are really the evil.
And processed food.
Yeah, processed foods in general. That should be a no-no for the majority of the time. I bought some pizzas for our daughter and I tonight, as her and I are going to be watching a movie tonight at home on our own. So I bought some pizzas from the spa, and that's not something that happens all the time. You know, that's something that is relatively rare for us. But why not? You know, I don't feel guilty about it. I know that for her, at least she's filling up her stomach. She's happy. She's having a pizza. But for the most part, we're eating healthy and clean. You know, just no sugars in the house. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, look, sometimes I do, but I haven't actually got physical sugar or things like cans with syrup in it and all that type of thing.
Oh yes.
Corn syrup and whatever. But now, keeping on the same subject of oxidative stress, did you know that exercise increases free radical formation? Did you know that? Exercise? Now, this, not to worry people, because please carry on exercising, okay? But it's temporary oxidative stress, which is the body actually needs. And that's fine as long as it doesn't go on for long. So mild oxidative stress is good for the body, and it helps protect the body from infection and diseases. Long-term oxidative stress, which means let's say you're under stress for long periods of time, is really, really bad for the body. Okay, it's bad for the proteins, it's bad for the DNA, and and that's when you start developing all these degenerative diseases that we talk about, such as stroke, heart disease, and so on. So it's a very, very important subject to pay a little bit of attention to. Okay, and you've got to look at what you eat without a shadow of doubt, because you'll be surprised. What was it I was reading the other day that was it some kind of fruit that you can eat the fruit? I think I was talking about acidic and alkaline. Now we're slightly acidic, if I remember right, the body, and the more we can push it alkaline, the better. Okay. You know, but there are some things you think are acidic that aren't, and we spoke about
lemon.
Didn't we?
Lemon, for example. Yeah, lemon is acidic, but once it's in the body, then it's alkaline. It becomes alkaline. And apple cider vinegar is another one that's
you'd think they'd be acidic, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But it's and because these things are very, very important. I mean, like, you know, people drink a little bit of apple
cider vinegar, apple cider vinegar.
And obviously the drink that people do when they squeeze lemons and do it with a little warm drink, that's really, really good for detoxifying and things like that. Very, very healthy. So
you put a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and freshly squeezed lemon, and then you mix that. You pour warm water in, not too hot, because it'll kill all the nutrients inside there. Some warm water, and then you drink that in the morning on an empty stomach, and it's very good for helping detoxify your system. And one of the ways it detoxifies your system is to bring your pH back into balance, and by doing that, you're helping to increase your antioxidants in your system and so forth. So you're reducing that oxidative stress as a knock-on effect.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I mean, that the whole subject of nutrition, it can be quite too much, you know. And I think that what you need to find is maybe one or two, and then you can increase it later, but one or two ways of just improving things. Yeah, I think that's the way forward, and do it gradually, because otherwise you'll get lost in the maze of information.
Yeah.
You know, and so what we're trying to stop chronic inflammation. It's another way of saying that. And as I say, these neurodegenerative diseases, neurological degenerative diseases, neurodegenerative diseases, are the things that I look out for, and how I try to avoid falling into the trap of consistently having things that are not good for me. You know, so as I say, it's all right to cheat occasionally. Okay. Do I like pizzas? Yes, I do. Do I have them often? No.
No.
Once a month, maybe. But
we're gonna do some fresh popcorn and pizza tonight.
Sounds great. I mean, you're watching a film.
Yeah, I've got 2 movies downloading at the moment now for her. I'm just taking them off stream.
Yeah. And
yeah.
Because the other thing about these neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's is that you can work to wall these off. Okay, we are. I'll come to it in a minute, but there are certain things you can do. I mean, there are people do plenty of studies on these things, and they haven't got all the answers, but they have got a fair few. And they know certain things that if you continue to do or continue to take or have, that will drive you down that route, And one of the big things is inflammation. This is why our business that we've got is based on reducing inflammation, and you're cutting out so much of the bad things that can happen to your body when you do that. So if you want to know more about reducing the inflammation in your body, then you'll have to give us a shout.
You need to give us a shout.
And you can do that by sending us an email at healthierlifetv@mail.com. That's MAIL. So healthierlifetv@mail.com. And then what we do, we'll discuss it with you. There's no fast and hard things here. We want to find out how healthy people are, how seriously they take their health, because we will only work with people who take their health seriously.
And also, how healthy do you think you are? Yeah, I like to know what people think of their own health, and then it's something that I'll get to towards the end of this call, but challenge them on that.
I mean that's what it's all about. And okay, so well, is there anything else you want to say about oxidative stress at all?
Look, it's unfortunately this is something that is not highlighted. It's never really highlighted in the medical area or the nutritional area. People focus a lot on pumping themselves full of this and that and this, and they have no idea really what it's doing, if it's doing anything for them, and let alone what it's doing. And they don't focus on the simple things, which is like something like just dealing with your oxidative stress, dealing with your chronic inflammation, because when you do deal with that, everything else kind of falls back into place. People are too often trying to deal with the symptoms and not deal with the solution to the symptoms. And when you're dealing with chronic inflammation and oxidative stress, you're actually going straight to the source of the problems invariably. It is the chronic inflammation is the silent killer. So when you're dealing with that, you're going straight to the source of the issue, as I said, for the most part. Not always, but for the most part. And it's people need to start to get over the idea of just taking things for the sake of taking things because you think it's helping you. We cannot afford to do that anymore. We've passed that time in our history where you can just willy-nilly walk into a pharmacy or nutrition shop and take this, that, and this and that because you think it's helping you. Those days are gone now. And for the most part, you urinating your money down the toilet. You're peeing your money down the toilet because of that. So, it's something. There's a couple of things I want to finish on here as well, as that 95 to 97% of people around the world have no idea what their health is doing, what is happening with their health. All right, they have no idea. They think they're healthy. They maybe feel like they're healthy. People look at them and say, "Ooh, you look fit and strong and healthy." But they have no idea whether they are really healthy or not. And it's the same like you buy you you buy a Porsche, but it has a VW engine inside of it. You get me? Yeah. Yeah, like in the old days. The old days, the Porsche, you had the Porsches, some Porsches had VW engines in them. They looked great on the outside, but the engine on the inside was okay, it lasted, but it never really performed very well. And it's the same thing with our bodies. We may look great on the outside, but what is actually going on the inside? And the other thing is that people take nutritional products, people take supplements because they believe that what they're taking is helping them. Now, in the world of nutrition, nearly 500 million people around the world take a particular oil, namely omega-3. Is it actually doing anything for their bodies or not? We don't really know until we know. And the best way to know that is by testing yourself, and we have a test that does that for you. It covers that for you. It takes the grayness or the blurriness out of the picture for you. There's a very simple test that can be done from the comfort of your home. And with Paul or I on a call, on a Zoom call or Skype call or whatever, WhatsApp call, we can guide you through that process. But the test itself will show you, it will actually prove to you. And more companies around the world, more and more people around the world are going towards the test-based thing. That it's not a fad, it is the way things are moving nowadays. People are becoming more test-based conscious. The people that actually are in the knowing, they are the ones that want to know more information. They're going towards the tests because this is the way of the future, to be honest with you, especially after what's happened in 2020. It's just the way things are moving forward now. We cannot afford to just guess. And we can take that guesswork out of the equation for you and really show you where your health sits inside your body and how your body is oxidizing from within and how much it's oxidizing within. So think about that. Nearly half a billion people around the world take a product, omega-3, all right, the largest selling nutritional product in the world. Yet 95 to 97% of people in the world have no idea what their health is like on the inside, period. So, I ask you the question, is it worth wasting more money and wasting time and wasting your life in the future and allowing yourself to waste away? Or is it better for you just to take a test, find out for yourself, and get some clarification on what's going on?
Absolutely. It's I think it's important moving forward that everything is evidence-based,
Yeah.
and it's the only way forward, because as I say, you don't know how much money you're wasting on going to the local pharmacy or going to a shop that actually sells all this good stuff, allegedly. And it looks great. It looks fantastic. It tells you everything that it can do.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, you are going in there on blind faith.
True.
We've all done it. And, and you need to know whether it's what, and over years, it would cost you thousands and thousands of pounds, and all that time you think, oh, I'm healthy. I take this, I take that. But are you? We both took the test and we were amazed by the results. Okay. So if that means anything to you, then get in touch and we can have a chat. And the first thing, as I say, we'll do is run through a questionnaire with you to find out what you currently do, how healthy you are, and and what you eat and things like that. So and all that's free. Okay. The only thing
there's no obligation. The only obligation is that
never an obligation.
Yeah. The only obligation is that you be open and honest with us. That's the only obligation. Yeah. There is.
But obviously, if you move on to products and a test, then there is a cost involved. But the test is of such quality and value that it's seriously worth contemplating. Okay. So with that, I'm done. Oxidative stress is one of those things that I'm learning every day about it. And am I going to get it 100% right? Absolutely not. I'm not a doctor, and but I do research, and I take the research that doctors have done. So
and speaking of which, before you finish off, I want to just add to that. Speaking of which, and this is also new information that's come to light for me, is that oxidative stress, aka chronic inflammation, or chronic inflammation, aka oxidative stress, whichever way you want to look at it. If you're an athlete, or an athlete, okay, oxidative stress can impact your performance by as high, or chronic inflammation by as high as 3%. Okay, so if you're an athlete, let's say you're an Olympic athlete, or you're a footballer that is aspiring to be a professional footballer, or you have some kind of athletic dream, 3% performance reduction is the difference between gold medal and coming last in your race. That's pretty much it, really, in a nutshell. So I'm not saying that anybody watching this video here now, this recording or the live, is an athlete, but if you are, or if you know somebody that is, then that again is another reason to seriously consider looking into your body, taking a look at the cellular level, what's going on inside your system, to identify whether you're struggling with oxidative stress or chronic inflammation.
fantastic. Well, I'm done. So it's a type of thing you could speak on forever, but I there's time to cut off, and this is now. So okay.
Sorry for interjecting there, Paul, but I just I didn't want to leave that on the shelf.
You can talk all day if you want. I'm just telling you from my point of view.
Yeah.
So all right. Well, listen. Have a fantastic weekend, and don't forget, go out and exercise if you want to. Okay. It's just a bit of a joke between the two of us. So have a great weekend, and then we'll see you next week.
And email us at healthierlifetv@mail.com.
Absolutely.
To find out, so we can get back to you, and you can find out for yourself. All right.
Fantastic. Bye for now. See you later.
Have a beautiful weekend, everybody.